Yo, 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 broski. How are you? Yo, yo, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Eid Mubarak to everybody celebrating. Hope you all had a wonderful day. I know some of you celebrated today and some of you celebrated yesterday. My Eid was good, man. It was good. Spent it with some friends, you know. Alhamdulillah. Just finished recording a video for you guys, which comes out tomorrow. So make sure that you turn the notifications on. Guys, YouTube doesn't show the videos organically as much as it used to. So make sure you turn on the post notifications so you don't miss it. But yeah, man, we're going to be back on it, guys. Daily uploads. I'm excited. I want to pump out loads of content for you guys. So get ready, man. Get ready. We're going to be busy. Now that I've got coffee flowing through my system several times a day, I'm going to be coming up with incredible ideas for you. And inshallah, obviously, the podcast as well. When it comes out, I'm going to be getting some great guests on. So stay tuned for that, man. It's going to be good. But yeah, today's live is titled No More Mr. Nice Guy. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me explain myself. Nah, come on, man. We gotta switch things up, guys. Let me tell you my stance on being a nice guy. A nice guy is somebody that compromises their core values to please others. You're a people pleaser. You're a spineless bastard. You don't stand up for yourself, and you're also shady as hell. Because nice guys are not actually nice. They're deceiving. They suppress how they truly feel in order to reduce the possibility of conflict, in order to avoid rejection. And guys do that with women all the time. And that's why women are repelled by nice guys, because they know, not stupid. They know what you want. But you want to pretend to be the friend and hope that one day she will see me for who I truly am. Once she leaves that mean bastard, she will look at me and she will be like, it should have been him all along. He was right by my side. Come on, man. Have some self-respect. Listen, rejection is part of life. Some women are just not going to like you like that. And instead of hanging around like the buddy, like the fucking gay best friend, you just wish her the best and you move on. But you don't hang around and pray that she breaks up with the bad boy. Women are not attracted to their male buddies that they know. And look, a lot of girls will say things like, no, he's just a friend. They're not stupid. Okay? Some of them are oblivious, but they are usually a lot younger, those girls. Okay? So come on, man. Have some self-respect. No more Mr. Nice Guy. And this also applies, by the way, to how you carry yourself in the workplace and in your professional life. Don't be walked all over by people. Enforce boundaries. Don't be afraid of confrontation. If somebody takes the piss, you pull them to the side, and as a man, you have a word. Hey, what you did back there is disrespectful. I don't fuck with that. I'm not that kind of guy. Now, you might have done that before to other people, and maybe they took it. Maybe they didn't stand up for themselves, but I'm different. I'm not going to allow you to walk all over me and try and humiliate me. I've done in the past. And I'll tell you one story of a manager that I in front of my colleagues when I got back from my lunch break. And I shout, do not speak to me in this way in front of my colleagues. If you want to speak to a man one-to-one, when I tell you this guy's face was as red as this fucking mic right here, like a fucking tomato. You saw, I mean, I saw the soul leaving this guy's face. He couldn't believe it. And he's the kind of guy that's used to getting his way in the workplace. Not with me. You ain't getting your way with me. You ain't going to disrespect me. I'm not that guy. So you stand up for yourself. You let people know I'm not the guy to fuck with. Now, I don't recommend starting to swing on people because that shows that you're weak. If your immediate response is to punch somebody for words that they said, then you're weak. Because I'll tell you what, a lot of guys are intimidated by a man who simply pulls them to the side and lets them know what's up. You don't speak to me like that. A lot of guys will start shaking. Oh, crap. I never knew this guy was the kind of guy to stand up for himself. Shit. They get intimidated because they're not used to that. They're used to getting their way. They're used to somebody saying, okay, sorry, manager. I'm the kind of guy, I'd rather lose my source of income than stay in an environment where I am humiliated and disrespected. Not me. I'm not that guy. I don't want to stay somewhere. I will leave. I will struggle financially in order to preserve my self-respect. Is this pre-recorded? No, this is live. This is right now. Interesting you say this. I'm in dentist school, and every week some guy asks me for the gloves. Gloves are expensive, and I take the effort to get my stuff. I called him out, and he started insulting me. You got to enforce boundaries, man. If somebody is invading your space again and again and again, there will be consequences. I'm so afraid of embarrassment because I have this extreme fear of women. It's because you've put them above you. You've put them on a pedestal. And when you put somebody on a pedestal, it means you are below them. You need to start believing that you are the real deal because you are. Women are not better than you. You're a man who has a lot to offer. Start believing in your own swagger. You know what? I am an interesting man. I am a well-rounded individual. I know a lot about a lot. I'm informed. I'm charismatic. I'm funny. Stop believing you. It's not just about, how much money do I have? No, it's not just about your wallet, mate. You offer a lot more to a woman than just your money. So start believing in yourself a little bit more, man. When you believe in yourself, women are more likely to fall into your frame, to actually like you. Because they're like, you know what? This guy's sure of himself. I like a man who's sure of himself. When you're unsure of yourself, when you believe you have nothing to offer, women are repelled. Why the fuck should I be with you? You don't even like yourself. I'm not going to spend my time hanging around with a loser who doesn't like himself, who talks about how he's so sure and how nothing ever works out for him and this and that and how he's so unlucky. Negative energy is repulsive, not just to women, just in general. Be sure of yourself. Yeah, we all have things we wish we could improve, such as our height or this or whatever. Everybody has something they wish they had a little bit better. But it is what it is. If you can't change it, accept it, man. Come to terms with it. If you can change it, then fucking get on with it and stop complaining to her about it. Oh, I'm fat. Well, then, motherfucker, lose some weight. Hit the gym. Oh, I'm broke. I never have money. Well, start working. Some of you guys are unemployed. Get a fucking job. And by the way, if you're unemployed, you shouldn't even be talking to women. You should be working 24/7, literally, man. 2 jobs, at least to address the immediate money problem. Now, once you've got that problem under some sort of control, you've got a source of income coming in, a reliable source. Now you can start thinking about making more money outside of work or improving your skill to land a better job. Okay, guys, make sure you give this live a like so that YouTube promotes it in the algorithm. Hey, Alice Rayan, thank you for responding back to me on Instagram earlier regarding friends. I got you, brother. And that video is coming, by the way. Ali, what is the most important lesson you've learned about women in your experience? I mean, there are many things that I have learned about women. ultimately, women want to be with a guy who sees himself as the catch. Okay? They don't want to be with a guy that's unsure of himself. They want to be with a guy that they can envision a future with. And unfortunately, so many guys present themselves well, but she comes to see that in reality, after being with him for a month, 2 months, 3 months, he's not the guy that she thought he was. He was putting on a facade in the beginning to attract her. But in reality, he's not the man that she thought he was. You got to live a life, fellas, where you are constantly seeking improvement in every aspect of your life. You have to constantly be seeking improvement in every aspect of your life. Your physicality, your finances, your spirituality. You got to keep improving. Because when you keep improving, you will begin to respect yourself a lot more. Your self-esteem will shoot through the roof. You will like yourself. Your life will start drastically getting better. You'll be able to do things you weren't able to do before. You'll be able to fly out around the world, go to nice places. You'll be able to wear nicer clothes. You got to live a life that you enjoy living before you bring a woman into it. If you hate yourself right now because you're fat and broke, the last thing you should be doing, fellas, is looking to get into a relationship. You've got more pressing issues to address. There should be no reason why you're on dating apps looking for a woman. You should be looking to secure the bag. You should be looking to shed the fucking weight that's on you. Get rid of the fucking tits that you got. Then you'll start feeling better about yourself. Then you'll go on a date and know you can pay for the date, because I don't want you guys telling a woman, can we split it? You pay 17 and I'll pay. You should never do that, because that's a sign that you're not ready to get to know a woman. Because I'm old school. I believe you should pay for everything. You should pay for the date, right? If she doesn't live nearby, either you drop her home or you pay for a taxi for her. If you guys get into a relationship together, you cover the rent, you cover all the major bills, you cover all the food, because you're the fucking man. You're not going to live in a scarcity mindset. Oh, but no, it's expensive. Well, then, motherfucker, don't get into a relationship with a woman. Work on yourself. Increase your income. Then, when you live a life where you can afford to go out and spend £100 on dinner, do this, do that, then you can have the confidence in being able to take care of a woman, because you want a woman to be in her absolute feminine. You don't want her to stress about money, about business. How are we going to afford this? How are we going to afford that? Be a fucking boss, man. Handle that shit. I don't ever want to see you guys say things like, but she's got to pay half because men are standing up for themselves. We're Sigma males. You should never say shit like that. That's corny. It's fucking cringe, man. It shows that you're still in a lack mindset. Get your fucking shit in order, man. Because I want you guys to eat the best steaks. I want you guys to wear the best suits, the best fragrances. I don't want you guys counting pennies. Oh, but what if she takes advantage of me and then she leaves? Well, you got to vet that woman correctly. Before she becomes your wife, you got to make sure she's got the right mindset. You ask important questions. You observe her relationship with her father, with her siblings. You observe how she sees life. You don't just make a rash decision because she's got a big ass, right? Is she the right woman for you? You'll find out by asking those questions. Okay, you're not in a lack mindset. There's a lot of women out there. Some will be the right fit, some won't be. There's not one woman. Forget this whole, she's the ones, she's my soulmate. There are loads of ones, loads of potential candidates. It's up to you to qualify the potential candidates. Okay? So come on, man. No more lack mindset. Thank you for the shout out about the course, brother. Appreciate it, man. If you're looking to learn how to day trade, feel free to check out my course. Link in my Instagram bio and TikTok bio. And also down below the video as well, below the live. All right, guys. So listen, man, if you're not where you want to be, look, I don't preach getting into a relationship when you become rich, okay? Because obviously that number will vary depending on the person. For some people, rich might be 100K a month. For somebody else, it might be 200K a year. For somebody else, I mean, the number will change, right? And I do believe in female companionship. I do believe in that. I think a man needs a soft, feminine woman in his life that respects him, that cares for him. Because when you're sick, you want a woman nearby. They have that nurturing quality about them. It's nice to be kissed on the forehead and to have a nice warm meal. I know some women will listen to this and probably think, well, that's misogynistic. I ain't cooking shit. Well, then she's a masculine woman and she shouldn't be in your life, because I will be a masculine man and I will do the things that a masculine man should do. I will protect my woman. I will provide for her. She doesn't have to worry about anything financially. She just has to exist, be feminine, be caring, have a good relationship with God, and respectful. That's it. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a list of 101 things that a woman should be. Obviously, I have to be physically attracted to her, but beyond that, just be kind, respectful. Obviously, I like a woman who is intelligent as well, who knows, you know, who has a passion for a certain thing in life, whether it's poetry, it doesn't matter. I like a woman who is interested in something, is passionate about maybe playing the piano, whatever. It's nice to see. But I don't have a list of 101 things that she has to do to be my woman. I'm not that kind of guy. Now, I know today's women have a list of 1,001 things that a man must be. But I'll tell you what, guys, it's rare. I mean, high value men are rare. There aren't many men out there walking around making six figures in shape. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I walk around Milton Keynes where I live, and I rarely see dudes that are jacked, that wear nice clothes, that have a car that they take care of, because your car says a lot about you, by the way. Is your car clean? If somebody goes in your car, is there loads of fucking Dorito packets on the floor? A fucking KFC box? Does it stink as shit? Are there fucking semen stains on your seats because you've been busting nuts, right? Your car says a lot about you, man. So I rarely come across guys that are well-rounded, that are ambitious, that pursue martial arts, that smell good, that take care of themselves, full stop. I rarely see that. So just remember, you are a rare commodity. If you're a guy who's constantly seeking improvement, you're increasing your finances, you're networking with people, you are a rare motherfucker. You're not very available. So that's why, you know, Kevin Samuels used to say to women when he had them on his show, good luck finding this guy. Now, I don't believe that women should be pessimistic. I mean, if she's young and she's kind, considerate, feminine, then she may potentially find a dude like that. But what I'm saying here, guys, is that if you're doing these things, if you're working on yourself, if you're improving yourself, if you're in shape, if you're starting to make some serious bucks, you are a top 3% man. And obviously, depending on your income, you could even be a top 1% man. Okay. So you got to start fucking walking like it. You got to start talking like it. And you got to have high fucking standards when it comes to the woman that you're going to have in your life. You're not just going to allow anybody in. Okay. Ali, any recent experience you have going on dates? What have you realized about the dating market in 2023? I mean, look, man, I'll be honest with you. I do communicate with some women to get to know them. I'm not a serial dater. Like, I don't go on a new date every single week because I'm busy. But I've also got very little patience for women. If I see a red flag, khalas, you'll never hear from me again. I'm not the kind of guy that I used to be who would just overlook the red flags. I can't see anything. No, you're wonderful. I'm sure you are. I'm no longer that guy because I'm not desperate to have a woman in my life. I consider myself a top 3% man. I believe in myself. I believe I'm the real deal. There aren't many men like me. And so I act like it. If I see a red flag, this is I'll pay for the date or whatever. But I just won't see her again because I don't have any tolerance for BS. Da, 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 da. Thank you, brother. Ali, is there a way I can speak with you privately about a really tough situation in my life? Feel free to book a coaching call with me, brother. The link to the coaching calls is down below. Isn't dating impermissible in Islam? Well, when I say dating, I don't mean I fucking go to her crib or she comes to my crib. I don't mean that. But what I mean is having a coffee. Having a coffee isn't impermissible, you know? Obviously, if I really like a girl, I'm not going to be dating for 6 months, going out to a restaurant every week. No, obviously I'll be talking to her. But then if I like her, I'll do things the right way. I'll speak to her father. I'm not a coward. I'm old school because I would want a man at some point in the future who is interested in my daughter to come and speak to me relatively quickly. I don't want him, to lead my daughter on and for her to think this guy's going to marry me and then for him to never do that. Okay? But I'll get to know the girl. I'll get to talk to her. But you can tell a lot about a woman very quickly. You don't have to get to know a woman for 7 years to see if she's wifey material or not. You can get to know a woman relatively well in 6 months. I believe that. 3 to 6 months. You can know whether or not she is wifey material. You can. Someone said Neanderthal. That's a bit of a random thing to say. Are you saying I'm a Neanderthal? Tips to avoid thinking about the past and be completely in the present. I mean, I'll tell you this, man. I don't worry about things I can't change because I will rob myself of the moment. If I can't change what's happened, I don't worry about it. I mean, I do believe in reflecting on the past for sure, because maybe you made a mistake that had massive repercussions. And so you need to be aware of the mistake that you made. But don't live in the past. Reflect on the past, but don't live there. A lot of guys live there. They still are heartbroken about a girl that left them 5 years ago, and they can't get over her because they're living in the past. I reflect, I learn from my mistakes, and I ensure that going forward, I do not repeat them. But I'm not going to rob myself of joy in the moment because I respect myself and I love myself. I deserve a good future. I care about me. Jordan Peterson says this, right? In his book, 12 Rules for Life. I think it goes along the lines of treat yourself like somebody that you're responsible for caring for. Like if you were responsible for caring for somebody, you'd be very considerate with this person, very loving. Treat yourself in that way. You deserve a good life, man. So don't treat yourself like shit. If a girl does you dirty, do you give her a second chance? Well, it depends on what does you dirty is. I mean, there could be 1,001 things that she's done. But in general, if she's absolutely disrespected you, I mean, it depends on the scale where it is on the spectrum. But obviously, you cut her out and you never speak to her again. But look, a girl will test your boundaries early on in a relationship. It's called shit testing in the world of male self-help, right? She will test your strength. She'll see whether or not she could walk all over you. And obviously, you enforce boundaries. I'm not saying you threaten her with violence or anything. No, you don't do that, of course. But there's got to be consequences. If she continues to disrespect you, you disappear from her life. That's the best thing you can do as a man. You just disappear. You know what? I told you I don't appreciate that. You've continued. Therefore, we cannot continue, essentially. I cannot see you anymore. And you remind me of Pacho Herrera from Narcos. Oh, man, I was listening to the Narcos theme tune today, man. I play it sometimes. I like Narcos, man. If there's another one, I want them to reach out to me. I don't know Spanish yet, but I'll learn. Have you experienced female rejection? Of course, man. I'd be lying if I said I never experienced female rejection. It hurts when you're young and you're like, what? But hang on a second. But wait. But I am a good looking guy. But I don't explain myself anymore. It's just life. It's a numbers game. And this will happen when it comes to your relationships, your love life, right? But also in your professional life. You might get 10 interviews and all 10 reject you. Imagine that. That could happen. Now, obviously, if you care about yourself and you're aware of the mistakes that you made, then you improve them going forward so that you're more likely to be given a job offer. I mean, there are many things that you can address in that regards. The suit that you wear, the way you communicate, your body language. You don't look down when the interviewer is speaking to you. You look at them in the eyes. You nod your head. You use your body. I mean, there are things that you can improve on. Same thing with women. Maybe a woman rejects you because you're a fat bastard. Not because, you have a horrible personality. You're just fat. And if you lost weight, she'd find you attractive. But also, you could be attractive. You could be everything, and still a woman won't like you. And that's something you have to come to terms with. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, as they say here in the UK. Would you be calm with your girl posting? What do you mean? Just posting on social media? Well, as long as it's not naked pictures of herself, then if it's just a picture of her with her cat or with her mum and dad, that's all right. I don't see an issue in that because obviously everybody has social media now. But if we're talking about, promiscuous photos and stuff, then of course I won't be okay with that. That's just me personally. If I've learned one thing, you need to find a woman who interests you enough to keep you interested, but not enough so that you lose yourself. It takes two. Well, this is the thing, man. A woman, you shouldn't put the pressure on a woman to keep you engaged. Your purpose should engage you. Your life's mission, that should be your main focus. The book, Way of the Superior Man on my shelf over there, talks about that. David Dider, right? He talks about your purpose having to be the most important thing in your life. I know it sounds a bit like a lot of guys will think, no, but your family can't. Yeah, but you can't take care of your family. You can't take care of your woman if you don't have your purpose on lock, if you don't have something that you're working for. That's why, unfortunately, it's sad, but that's why a lot of guys kill themselves because they have nothing really to do, nothing to strive for. They can't provide for their kids. So your purpose must come first. And your woman wants that, by the way. A lot of you guys take women for what they say. What a woman says versus what she responds well to are two different things. Women will say things like, I want a guy who's obsessed with me, but they actually don't. When they experience that, they get fucking frightened. It's creepy. Oh, he's parking outside my house even though we've broken up. That's not, look, movies will make that look cute and will make that, look like a healthy standard of love. But in reality, they don't like that. So don't take a woman for what she says. A woman might say things like, I like a guy with a dad bod. They don't. That's cap. They don't want you to take off your top and you having bigger breasts than them. And oftentimes when they say that, it's because they're insecure. Because they know that if you're in amazing shape, you might find another woman. You might attract more women. So they say that to keep you down, to keep you, so that you become less attractive to the competition, essentially. Okay, so fucking forget the dad bod shit, man. Now, I'm not saying you have to be 6% body fat, because you don't have to be, and that's not really sustainable if we're keeping it real. But if you're in decent shape, you're anywhere between 10 to 15% body fat, that's okay. I'm not saying you have to be absolutely shredded to the fucking bone. No. Would you say YouTube is a numbers game too? Absolutely. You post a lot of content. Essentially, I spoke to a friend about it today, actually. With YouTube, it's like a fisherman who throws a lot of bait in the ocean. The bait is the videos. You create value, you create value, you create value. And that's how you should see YouTube. You see it as a value exchange platform. I'm going to provide so much value to my audience. And one day, God willing, if I continue to do so, if I continue to serve the people, at one point in time, I will receive in abundance. People will recognize my work. People will recognize my effort. Okay? And that's life in general, by the way. You provide value, you provide value, you provide value, and you get that value back at some point. It may not happen immediately. So you've got to be patient. And, the video that's coming out tomorrow, I talk about that, okay, in the video that's coming out. So stay tuned for it. Mate, how did you deal with adversity earlier in your life before independent financial success? And look, I'll tell you this, when it comes to financial success, I'm not where I want to be yet in life. It's a constant process of improvement, of course. Earl Nightingale sums up success beautifully. He said, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And the key word I want you to pay attention to is the progressive. You don't arrive. A lot of you guys think once I become successful, you see it as one destination. It's not one destination. It's a constant state of improvement. That's what success is. Because once you get to 10K a month, you're not going to want to stay there. Now you're like, fucking hell, I actually pulled this shit off. I got to $10,000 a month. Well, the next goal should be 20K. And even if you don't get to 20K, Jim Rohn says this, set a goal to become a millionaire for what it will make of you to achieve it. It's not the actual number. It's the man you become in the process. That's what you should pay attention to. Because I don't want you to obsess over a specific number, and if you don't get it, you become miserable. No, I want you to appreciate the progress that you've made and be like, fucking hell, if I can do this, if I can get to 10K a month, if I can get to 10% body fat, what else am I capable of? You start seeing your potential. You start thinking, fucking hell, man, I could really do some damage out there. Man, I am the real deal. What if I could build more muscle, keep my body fat low? What if I can get to 20K? What if I can automate this process? What if I can this? Life is all about improvement. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Remember that. Respect the grind at it. All the best. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate you, brother. I'm 24 and want to be a doctor. But when I realize I have to study for 7 years, I get weak in my ambition. Bro, shit takes time, man. And I talk about it as well in tomorrow's video when it comes out. Okay, you'll hear this in one of the... I'll give you an insight now anyway. Shit takes time. It ain't going to happen straight away, bro. And why should it? What gives you the right to believe that you deserve it immediately? And it's a very naive outlook as well. Things take time, man. You can't make a baby grow faster. Right? If a woman's pregnant, you can't fast track that pregnancy to 9 days. It's got to be 9 months. Right? If you plant a seed for an oak tree today, you can't, by adding more water, speed up the process of the tree growing. It's going to take fucking time. Rolls Royces take 6 months to build. Most of these mass-produced cars can be built in a week or 2 weeks. It's a fast process for those cars, whereas a Rolls Royce takes time. You got to get the wood for the interior. You got to get the leather from the cows, the best leather. There's a process where the leather needs to be treated. I mean, things take time. I mean, if you want something worthwhile, it will take time. If you want some cheap shit straight away, well, you can get that quick. If you want a shit life, making shit money, well, there's loads of jobs out there that pay shit money. You can find them everywhere. But if you want to become excellent in your craft, you want to become highly successful, well, that's going to take some time. You need to prove your worth to the marketplace. Medicine takes 7 years because you need to prove that you can become a good doctor. Thank you, Sammy. Appreciate it. Eid Mubarak to you as well, brother. Beard growth tips. I mean, with your beard growth, a lot of it is determined by genetics. In fact, I say most of it is determined by your genetics, but you can use a derma roller. It's a little device that has little needles at the end of it, and you roll it on your face in areas where facial hair isn't as prevalent, and it will stimulate blood flow to the top of your skin. You can also use something called minoxidil, which is essentially a hair growth substance Well, it was initially used to treat blood pressure, but then they realized as a side effect it can actually help hair grow. So I mean that's an option, but obviously do your research. Are you planning on building community for men? It would be cool to meet other men on the journey. Absolutely, man. I mean, if you guys are down, you can join my Discord. I actually started a Discord last year, but I just don't know how to use it properly. So that's why I haven't really used it. Telegram I can use comfortably. I'm a simple man. But Discord, I feel like there's a lot going on. So I don't know. I'll play around with both. And as soon as I can get a link going, I'll put it in the bottom of the videos so you guys can join. Hello, Ali. I'm in dental school and I failed 2 years due to the difficulty of it, but I'm still here trying and I'm actually getting through. I found my method of studying. Exactly, man. Things take time, bro. Trial and error. And the good thing is you are in medical school. Sorry, you are in dental school. So it's not like you're not in it yet. You're in. Just improve your performance. You know, get a routine going that works for you. What are some good books that you recommend? Way of the Superior Man. Think and Grow Rich, which is over there as well. Atomic Habits, which is over there as well. These are just 3 great books that I've read. Brilliant books. What happens if you fail the year? Do you pay to redo the year? Oh, you're asking Hatham. Believe you do. In my opinion, cars is the biggest waste of money. If you need this means to get from point A to point B, it's a sign. I'll tell you this as well, bro. I've got a different perspective on cars. Hear me out here, guys, yeah? If you start to do well for yourself, when I say well for yourself, I mean, you're making, let's just say here in the UK, between 3,000 to 5,000 a month. In my opinion, it's a good idea to get a good car. I'm not saying Lamborghini or whatever, because you can't afford one on that sort of money. But if you get a good car that you take care of, it can actually help you get to where you want to get to faster. And also, it presents you better. Now, look, if you're absolutely stressed because you're paying a monthly payment that you can't afford to, then I don't recommend it. But I also don't believe you should be driving a piece of shit that causes you problems because that will slow you down. The car will be in the fucking garage several times a month. You don't need that. You want a good car. And when I say good car, for example, you can get a C-Class, you can get a 3 Series, right? A car that's respectable, that looks nice, that smells good on the inside, that's consistently cleaned week in, week out. You don't have to wait until you're a millionaire to get a really nice car. You can get a nice car now. Those are nice cars that I just mentioned to you right now. Okay? Plus, if you roll up to let's say, for example, you want to do business with somebody and he says, yeah, come over to this place, let's have some coffee. And you pull up and you've got a nice car. It's a good first impression. Nice car, he dresses well. Like I said, as long as you can afford the monthly payments, for example, if you want to lease, right? So yeah, man, that's a different perspective on it because I know a lot of guys are like, don't ever do that. No, I actually disagree. I think, you know what? If you start to do okay for yourself, get a car that represents you well. If you can afford to pay for it cash, then go for it, but you can finance a car. You can spread the monthly payments and still drive something that's safe, but also presentable because the car is the most, your car, your phone are the 2 most important things that you own. Okay. And let's just say a passport to chuck in there. But a good car that's safe, obviously your phone makes you money. That's why I invested in a iPhone 14 Pro Max because I had an iPhone XS Max before this. And I thought, when this came out, I was like, you know what, man, I need to get an amazing phone because my phone makes me money. For the average Joe Schmo, they probably just watch a load of porn on it, jack off all over themselves. So any phone will do. But I know that if I get a good phone with good storage, I can use this shit to make money. It's an asset to me. Same thing as a good car. If a car looks nice, the aircon works, the seats are comfortable, I can drive long distances. If I drive a piece of shit car that cost me $500, I'll be constantly worried. I can't drive it up and down the country. Ali, what are your tips on not relapsing to pornos? Well, the best thing, in my opinion, is being busy because you don't really you don't really stop bad habits, you replace them with good habits. So you're not exactly going to wake up one day and just magically stop watching porn, right? But if you become busy, if you're working and then after work you go to the gym. After you finish gym, for example, you go jujitsu practice. After jujitsu practice, you go and record some content. By the time you come home, you just want to fucking sleep, man. Have you ever been so tired where you thought about jacking off and then you're like, oh, you know what? I can't even be asked. I'm so tired, right? I'm just keeping it real with you guys. When you're so tired, the last thing you want to do is just start playing around with your fucking willy. You want to go to sleep. You've had a long day. So you got to be busy with shit, man. That's the best remedy. Be outside. If you're indoors all the fucking time, if you're always at home in your bedroom, the bedroom is where you tend to fuck around the most. Okay? So be outside. What's your opinion on lone wolves? It's unhealthy. A lot of guys will say shit like, oh, yeah, man, I'm a Sigma male. I don't need no friends. That's cap. Having good friends is good for you. You're a social creature. Even the book 48 Laws of Power talks about how isolation is dangerous. Being alone makes you vulnerable. Having good male friends in your life, and I say male friends because if you only hang around with women, I can't take you seriously. I'm sorry. I know it's a controversial take, but I can't really take you seriously, man. You probably just gossip all the time. You probably don't really work out. You go for brunch every day, all right? But you get the point here. And it's not about the quantity of friends that you have, it's about the quality. If you have 2 or 3 dependable friends who you can count on in a difficult time, friends that keep it real with you, friends that don't give you what you want to hear, they give you what you need to hear. For example, if I am in a relationship and I made a mistake and I go to one of my friends, this is how confident I am in my friends. If I say, man, listen, I said this to her, whatever, my friends would actually observe the situation, analyze it, and then give me the best advice. They're not going to immediately defend me. If your friends immediately defend you without knowing the other side of the story, that's what women do all the time, right? A woman will be upset with her man. She'll go to one of her female friends. She'll say, I'm upset because he did. Leave him. He's bad for you. You don't deserve this. Girl, you deserve so much. But immediately they'll start taking sides with her. Now, men are more logical. And if your friends are real with you, they'll be like, bro, you shouldn't have said that, man. That's fucked up. Come on, man. You're better than that. Those are the kind of people you need, man. Especially if you're committed to them and you're married. The last thing you want is for somebody to whisper bad things in your ear and say, oh, really? She said that? Oh, come on, man. I wouldn't. Now, obviously, if the situation warrants them saying that, for example, you walked in on her and she's sleeping with another man, well, then obviously your friends are going to be like, hey, there's nothing. You can't defend that. You should just fucking leave her right there and then. But what I'm saying here is your friends have to analyze the situation and keep it real, give you actual good advice. Ali, hi Ali, got your trading course and really enjoying getting through it. I don't have an income at the moment. Should I get a part-time job or learn a way to make money online for the trading? Get a job, bro. Get a job so that you take care of your immediate money issues. Once you take care of your immediate money issues, then you can start working on improving your skill. Get a notepad, start taking notes from the course, start back testing. And then obviously in the course, I cover how you can approach funding because as a trader, you don't have to put your own money. Like trading's changed. For those of you that are interested in trading, it's changed. When I got into trading, the only way for you to make money was for you to save up your own money and put it into an account and slowly start to increase the capital. But now you can pass an assessment with a proprietary trading firm, with a prop firm, as they like to call them, and they will give you access to a large amount of capital. So just worry about the actual training right now. Get a job to address your immediate money issues. You need to pay the bills. You need to get from A to B. You need to fucking eat. And then work on your understanding of the market, take notes, and eventually you'll get to a point where you're funded. And that can happen within 6 months to a year. So don't worry about that. Don't stress yourself about becoming rich at trading and no. Take it step by step. First thing you need to do right now, if you're unemployed, guys, the first thing you need to do right now is get a job. I know a lot of the guys that you follow on YouTube don't say that. They say things like, man, fuck 9 to 5s. But no, you need a 9 to 5 in the beginning. You need money. And the quickest way to get money is to get a 9 to 5, at least legally, right? And then eventually, guys, things, like I said earlier, things take time. Eventually, once you prove that you can day trade the market consistently to yourself, that's it. I mean, you've got enough money. And look, the way I see it is, even when it comes to doing Shopify or whatever, don't ever leave a job until you've got enough money to sustain yourself independently for 6 to 12 months at least. And some would even suggest that you should have even more money saved up, maybe for 18 months or 24 months. Don't make rash decisions, especially when you're 18, 19, 20, man. Things take time. Be patient. I set goals and then go back to the same habits of being lazy. Well, do you know what it is, bro? You don't want it bad enough. I'm just going to keep it real with you, man. You don't want it bad enough because your work ethic is a reflection of how badly you want it. A lot of guys will talk shit. Man, I want to succeed. All right, let's see. And I've met people like this who will tell me, Ali, I want to do this. And look, I take everybody with a pinch of salt. Show me. Don't tell me. Show me. That's my mindset. Because I know 99% of men will talk shit and won't follow through. They'll start a new diet, and then a couple of weeks later, they're back to how they used to be. Doritos, Ben-Hariz every day. Right? So I judge based off of what I see. You know, I've met guys who have told me, Ali, I want to start this business. And then I've met them a year later. How's the business going? Oh, man, I didn't start it in the end. You don't fucking want it then. The only way or the only time you change is when the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change. When you're fucking sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're fed up with a shit life that you're living. That's the only time you change. You get off your ass. You're like, man, fuck this shit. I'm fed up. I can't continue living this way anymore, man. I'm annoyed. But a lot of guys will say that they're annoyed, but they're not really annoyed because otherwise they would have got off their fucking ass and they would have started working on what they needed to work on. You're not bothered about your weight loss unless you're fucking running every day and you're eating good. You're eating clean food. Remember, we are men. So we are judged on our actions. Now, women can say things, oh, I just don't. There's not much of a repercussion for a woman. But we are judged based off of what we do as men. You can't go home to your wife and say, well, I want to get better, baby. I want to improve our situation as a family, because she'll be like, motherfucker, then do something. Don't tell me you want to improve. Do something. We need to fucking eat. We've got a baby. Okay, so remember, as men, we are judged on our performance. The burden of performance is on our shoulders. That shouldn't intimidate you. That's your fucking masculine role. Embrace it. There is joy in taking care of your family and providing for your wife and providing for your kids. That's what gives life meaning for a man. Beyond believing in God, your life's work. You need to derive fulfillment from that. That's what's going to make you look forward to waking up every single day and taking care of your family, your life's work. And if you're interested in your life's work, amazing. You don't have to love it. Fuck this whole follow your passion shit, because you don't know what you're passionate about unless you get really good at something. When you become really good at something, the passion comes, believe me. Even if initially it doesn't really intrigue you that much. But when you get really fucking good, and I've met people like this, people that have excelled, for example, in sales. Initially, they hated it. They hated speaking to people, but now that they're very fucking good salespeople, they love it. So sometimes what you need to do is just get good at something. Then the passion comes, not straight away. It doesn't wave at you, hey, you're going to be passionate about this. No, you got to try shit out, give it a good fucking shot, and then you'll see. How to set goals and then break it down to achieve it. Well, I'll reverse engineer it. And I give myself realistic timeframes. I don't overwhelm myself with having to achieve this goal in a week or 2 weeks. For example, if we're using trading as as something that I do myself, when I first got into trading, my objective was to understand the fundamentals of the market. And then it was to generate 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds a day from the market. Small goals that give me a sense of fulfillment when I achieve them. And then it's like, cool, I need to gain access to more money. Okay, if it's when it comes to health, for example, okay, the first thing I need to do is get rid of 5 kg of body fat. Cool. Let me get into this deficit, this calorie deficit. And if I follow my plan strictly, I can get rid of this 5 kg. I don't worry about 10 years' time, what I'm going to look like. No, I break it down to smaller goals. And like I said, I write down what I intend to do every single day. 3, 4 things, non-negotiables. I only focus on what I have to do day to day, because I know if I focus on what I have to do day to day, I'll get to my goals. Okay, I don't set 10-year goals. I don't set 5-year goals. I don't think that far ahead. I focus on what I have to do daily. My daily method of operation, my DMO. Rocky says, I currently work with my father in retail at night, and it's so mentally exhausting. I am learning web designing and haven't made money. Should I stay in this job or leave it? Well, I mean, is it your dad's business? Okay. Is it his business? Does he pay you fairly? Because you don't have to work with your dad. You know, if you can get a better paying job that works better for you, then do that. Look, as long as you communicate with your dad in a respectful way, I'm sure he'll understand. Listen, Dad, I want to get paid more money. And I saw an opportunity to work here. It will work better for me because I do web designing, so I don't want to be too tired. Just explain it to him in a respectful manner, and he'll understand. And when it comes to your web designing business, have you approached anybody? I mean, there are so many factors, guys. And this is why some of you need to book a coaching call with me, because I can't give you the specific advice that you need unless I ask you questions, because I'm a consultant, I guess you could say. I want to understand your situation closely. So as much as I try and give everybody generic advice, when you book a coaching call with me one-to-one, I can understand your situation in detail. Do you believe a person who doesn't make or set goals will never achieve success? Pretty much. Pretty much. If you don't have a goal, you can't score. Thank you for the super chat, Brian. Appreciate you, brother. Men in 1960 had no motivational quotes. Toughen up. Exactly, man. They had a fucking family to take care of. They don't need somebody to come and tell them, take care of your wife. I mean, how many men lived and died doing shit they hated? But you know what? They never complained. Now, I don't believe that, you should do shit you hate for the rest of your life, because you have a lot of options now. It's no longer 1835, right? You've got options now. You can do anything. So, but the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of guys are fucking lazy. They only want to do the work if it's easy. No, it's going to be challenging. Embrace the challenge. Can you read some of your DMOs? Well, essentially, my DMOs are the same every day. And sometimes I add new things to them. But it's mark up the charts in the morning and look for a setup. It is go to the gym, of course. It is go to boxing or jiu-jitsu, because I do both. So usually 2 times a week boxing, 3 times a week jiu-jitsu is the setup that I follow. And create content. Now, obviously, I've taken a break a little bit from daily videos, but they're back again. I've been doing a lot of live streams recently. So really, these are the 4 things that I must do every single day. Okay? Create content, mark up the charts, go to the gym, boxing or jujitsu, and I repeat, 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 repeat. Because success requires repetition. It's not about having a different routine every day, completely different routine. No, because you can't progress at anything if you keep switching it up. It's like that magnifying glass analogy. On a hot summer's day, if you have some dry leaves on the ground and you take a magnifying glass and you hold them above the dry leaves, if you hold it in the right spot long enough, a ray of sunlight will go through the magnifying glass and then aim right at the dry leaves and then create a spark, which will then result in a fire. Now, if you're moving the magnifying glass right and left, you're not going to result in anything. So don't switch your routine up constantly. Focus, tunnel fucking vision. You know, in horse racing, they give horses blinders. So they just focus on what's ahead of them. They don't look right or left. Okay? Is dropshipping a good side hustle or Amazon FBA? I don't do both. I looked into them in the past, not for me personally, but it could be for you. Yeah, that's why I don't like giving blanket responses, because for you, it might be excellent. You might be amazing at it, but somebody else might not like it. Me being one of them. It wasn't really my cup of tea. But that's why if you're young, try it out. Okay? What's the best pickup line? Once again, man, there is no best pickup line, right? Ultimately, it's just about having the courage to even speak to a woman to begin with. You could fuck up everything you're saying, but if she's attracted to you, she'll hear you out. If you look good to her, if you pass the eye test, if she looks you up and down, she's like, damn, this guy's sexy. Then you could fuck up what you're saying, and she'll still give you her number. Unless you say something extremely wild like, I love your breasts, you know, in which case she thinks, fucking hell, I need to call the police, right? But in most cases, man, you know, in fact, they might even find that cute. They find it cute if you're good looking to her. If you're not good looking to her, they'll find that creepy. Just remember that, okay? I don't fear the man that has practiced 10,000 kicks once. I fear the man that has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Absolutely, my brother. Mastery. Love to see the progress, brother. You inspired me to create content. Now I use YouTube and TikTok. Rome wasn't built in a day. Our goals will come to those who give their 100%, brother. Come on, man. I feel fucking pumped today, man. I feel good. I feel good, man. Things take time. And you know what? I have a beautiful relationship with time. I'm not like how I used to be. Oh, why is it not happening quickly? You know what? It can take as long as it takes. I will get there when I get there. As long as I keep providing value to the marketplace, I will get the value back, man. I believe in that. But I don't do it just for the money. I do it because I love having conversations like this with people. And it's a beautiful feeling, man. When somebody says, you know what, man, I was contemplating suicide, but I saw your video and it pushed me another day. That for me is miles better than just getting paid. As much as I appreciate getting paid, of course, right? But, you know, getting feedback from people that my content is helping them out is extremely rewarding. Okay? So keep at it, brother. Keep providing content to people, man. Keep providing value. Rate my fragrance collection, Mr. Ben-Hariz. Dolce Gabbana, the one. Dior, Homme Intense. Good selections right there. Prada Luna. I don't have that one. Heard about it, though. Good collection so far, brother. Fragrance recommendations myself. Yeah, there's quite a few. Bleu de Chanel, the Parfum version. Dior Sauvage Elixir. It's a bit different than the main Dior Sauvage. I have some niche fragrances as well. Initio Side Effect. I've got Givenchy Gentleman. That's not necessarily niche, but it's a nice, sweet fragrance. I love the Acqua di Parma range. I've got Acqua di Parma Colonia Essenza. I've got Acqua di Parma Oud. I've got Acqua di Parma Leather. Dolce Gabbana, the one, of course. That's a nice one. It's not the best in terms of performance, long-lasting wise, but it smells great. Very nice. Yeah, there's quite a few, man. I'm constantly adding to my collection, of course. Do you smoke, and how does nicotine affect testosterone? I don't know. I mean, yeah, some of you guys have seen me with cigars before, and you're like, Ali smokes. It's like, well, a cigar is like a once in a year kind of situation. I got to earn that cigar. You don't smoke a cigar every fucking day, man. You'll die quickly, right? But I don't smoke cigarettes or anything like that, man. I don't believe in that shit. You know, you want to live a long, healthy life. Let's have a look. How much did you start with? Are we talking about fragrances here? Good energy, brother. You know it. The success is inevitable. Absolutely, bro. I'm going on a run at 5 a.m. Good man. That belly must go. Let's go, champ. How do you master discipline to reach your goals? I feel anxiety and worries about the future. Like I said, I don't look too far ahead, man. I just focus on the day. If I have a good day today, amazing. I've done my job properly. Then I focus on the next day. If I can have another good day, great. If I can just improve a little bit every single day, 1% better a day, those little incremental gains add up. Atomic Habits over there at the back talks about this. James Clear, the author, he talks about just improving a little bit. It will compound over time. So I don't worry about the future so much, man. I don't worry about the 35-year-old me, the 40-year-old me. No. Okay, this is what I need to do today. This is what I need to do tomorrow. If I can just repeat, you got to master the mundane, guys. When I say master the mundane, I mean if you can do the same shit every single day, you're going to become successful. If you can go to boxing training every single day, if you can go to jiu-jitsu practice every single day, in 10 years, you'll be a black belt. If you can work on your business every single day, and I don't mean you don't review your performance. Of course you do. Now, the good thing about martial arts is somebody reviews you, looks at you. Your trainer will be like, okay, right, your instructor. He'll assess you. He'll give you advice. Now, if you're running your own business, you need to keep yourself accountable because you don't have a manager. Nobody's overseeing you when it's your own shit, when it's your own side hustle. So you got to keep it real with yourself. You got to have a journal. You've got to write things down. Okay, you know what? I had a shit week last week. I only did this. Next week has to be better. Or if you're not seeing results by doing a certain thing, speak to somebody who's successful in your line of work. You know what? I've been doing this. I haven't been seeing the results. What am I doing wrong? Sometimes it's not even a case of you doing anything wrong. Sometimes you just need to keep doing that same thing until you get a breakthrough. Right? So seeking support here and there is important. Okay? But it's just a case of improving slightly every single day. Ali, since you are so busy, how do you find time to pray? I'm myself a Muslim, but I just can't get myself to it after a long day of work. Well, I won't respect myself if I can't pray for 5 minutes each time. How on earth can I expect to become successful in my career if I don't have 5 minutes each time to pray? I mean, what, 25 minutes a day, man? If you don't have 25 minutes a day to worship your creator, to be appreciative of being alive, come on, man. It's an excuse. Now, I get it. Look, for those of you that haven't prayed or you don't pray, it may be a mental obstacle, but it's procrastination, just like anything else. Just like when you don't work on your goals, when you don't go to the gym, you're procrastinating. You know, I wake up every single day grateful just to have another opportunity. Alhamdulillah, God has put life into my body for yet another day. I need to appreciate my creator. If I get a win in business, in my personal life, things start happening for me. I need to appreciate my creator for that. You know, the mark of a man is when things start going well for himself. Does he still remember God? Or does he only go to God when things go wrong? It's just 5 minutes each time, man. That's it. You can do it, bro. You've got the time. And what helps is whenever that prayer, like the time for, let's say, dhuhr has entered, you pray it straight away. You don't say, I'll pray when I get back. Because it will, you create obstacles in your mind. You're like, I've got to pray all of it now, and it's going to take a long time. So when the time of the prayer begins, pray it straight away. Okay? Yeah, smelling good is one of the things that can change your outcomes in every walk of life. Yeah, I mean, it makes you attractive. You offer dating advice, coaching? Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. When someone stares at me, I bring it to stares competition. What do I do with this kind of people? Well, most of the time you can just ignore them, bro. There are some fucking crazy people out there. Maybe they're on drugs. You don't know that, right? But don't go out there seeking, fights because you don't know. You don't know, guys. There are people out there that have nothing to lose. They will stab you without even thinking about it. So don't go out there looking for fights. If somebody's looking at you weirdly, just fucking keep walking, man. Unless they come to you and they start swinging, then obviously you got to protect yourself. Okay. Or maybe that person is just thinking about something really tragic that happened to them in life. Maybe they're reflecting on the death of a loved one. So they're zoned out. They're just staring. They're not staring at you per se. Okay. So you don't know the proper scenario. How do you deal with erectile dysfunction? Well, I'm not a medical professional. So I would definitely encourage you to seek some medical advice right there. But there are factors that contribute to erectile dysfunction. Watching porn extensively is one thing. Jacking off constantly is one thing. But it could also be some hormonal imbalance in your body. So there's various things that could affect that. Ali, right now I feel like busting one. And I started watching your stream. Okay, well, I don't want to visualize you watching me, you know what I'm saying? And thinking of busting one. Okay, so yeah. I would say go for a run right now, bro. Go for a walk or some shit. Have you revealed your age? Yeah, of course, man. It's not a secret. 27 years old. I'm turning 28 in May, inshallah, if God allows me to get to my birthday. So time flies, man. I still remember when I was 21 like it was yesterday. Where has the time gone? I was saying this to a guy that I met today. He's 21 years old, and I just, I looked at him and I see myself in him. I see young Ali in him. He's 21. He's from the same country as me, and great guy, by the way. And he might be watching this stream actually. But yeah, man, to think that I'm almost 8 years, I'm going to be almost 8 years older than him. Sorry, 7 years older than him. It's crazy because I still feel like I'm 21. You know. What's the best way to fix a bad sleeping schedule? I force myself. I don't do it the conventional way. So, for example, if I've been going to sleep at 4 a.m., which has been the case for Ramadan almost, 4 5 a.m. Every single day, the way I force myself to fix my sleeping pattern is by staying awake the next day as much as I can. So by the time it's like 8 or 9 p.m., I just crash and I just fall asleep because I can't go to sleep. Like if I woke up at like 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I can't fall asleep by 9 because I still feel energetic. So I have to make myself tired. That's how it works for me, at least. I've got a question. Is it very rude to ask a woman, do you have a boyfriend? Well, no, I wouldn't say that's rude. Why would that be rude? Ultimately, it's up to her. Like, I don't even ask that question. It's up to her to tell me if she has a boyfriend, if she does. If I find her attractive and I say, I got to say, you're beautiful. Listen, I'm heading off right now. But hey, if you're around, I'd love to get some coffee next week. Now, it's up to her to be like, if she has a boyfriend, that is, to be like, sorry, I can't, I've got a boyfriend. Or, I'm married, for example, if she's got a ring, right? She's got to tell me. I'm not going to go around with a clipboard. So, do you have a boyfriend? I'm not going to be doing that, man. I'm not doing market research here. Tell me. That's crazy, brother. I'd advise you to get married, brother. I'm sure it will benefit you greatly and life will slow down. Are you referring to me? Sorry. I want to get a tunnel vision to achieve goals, but when I see my friends with girlfriends, I feel inferior and think about getting women. Why do you feel inferior? I don't care about what my friends are doing in terms of their love life. When I say I don't care, obviously I want what's best for them, but as in their happiness doesn't take away from me. If I see that my friends are happily married, man, I'm so grateful for them. I send them love and I wish them well. I wish that they have a long, healthy relationship. But I don't feel like, just because they're married, then no, I don't feel jealous of my friends. Obviously, it'll be nice to have the companionship of a caring, loving, supportive woman at some point. But I don't worry. It will happen when it happens, man. Like I said, guys, you got to get your life in order. You got to get your life in order before you bring a woman into it. You got to be practical, guys. It's not just about love and oh, but we love each other. Yeah, but do you have a place? Can you afford to pay for that? I mean, there's certain things that you think about, bro. Yes, bro, I'm referring to you. Marriage should be the final goal, and Akhi, I believe you should begin to look now. I assure you, everyone will be of great benefit. Habibi, listen, man. If the right woman comes along, I'm not against it. I'm not one of those red pill dudes that are like, man, fuck marriage. No, I believe in marriage. I believe in the nuclear family. I believe in having kids young, even as a man. My dad always tells me this, Ali, have your kids young so that when you grow up, there's not much of a gap between you and them. And I believe that. My dad was 28 when me and my brother were born, and I'm turning 28 next month. So I think about that sometimes. I think, shit, when my dad was 28, I was born. So, look, I'm not against marriage, but like I said, it's got to be the right woman. I don't just want to get married to anybody. I respect myself. If I want to, like I said this on a previous live, by the way, if I wanted to get married next week, I can do it like this. There are plenty of women out there that want to get married quickly, and it wouldn't be a difficult thing to do. And I'm not saying this to sound like I'm, bragging to you guys and, oh, I can get. No, I mean, obviously, I believe in myself. I'm a good looking guy. I'm going places. So it's not like it will be difficult for me, anyways. But it's just got to be the right woman, and I'll take it one day at a time. Like I said, I'm working on myself. I'm improving myself. I'm not living in a fairy tale. I'm practical. So I think about things on a deeper level than most guys. I mean, I know guys that got married at like 21, 22. I personally wouldn't do that because when I was 21, looking back at myself, man, I was an idiot. So I would have been a terrible husband. So I believe as much as you want to get married because, you want to fuck or you want to, you got to be practical. You got to think about things realistically. Actually, the right one to come along is a Disney psyop. You need to actively place yourself in situations that favor marriage soon. And look, when I say the right woman, I don't mean I sit on my ass and she's gonna knock on my door one day with a basket full of raspberries and be like, "Hey, mi amor." Like, I know that's not what's gonna happen. Obviously, I have to put myself in situations where I meet this woman. But as in right now, I'm just locked into what I have to do, man. I'm busy. So right now, I'll be a bad husband. That's how I see it, man. I've got shit I need to get done. But once things start stabilizing a little bit more, then inshallah, you know what I'm saying? Brian said, you said a woman from Colombian farm. Yeah, I posted this on my story. I just know my woman is picking some nice fruits in a Colombian farm somewhere. I'm very attractive and I have a classic physique body. And my problem, I now a lot of girls, but still not in relationships because I love to have rotation. Well, listen, guys, you know me. I'm against hookup culture because I believe it fucks you up. It corrupts your soul. It leaves you with a void because you feel like you constantly need a new woman. And also, it distracts the fuck out of you. You need to get shit going, man. Especially if you want to be a man who's highly successful. Think and Grow Rich talks about this. Many of the men that have accomplished great feats in life had one woman in their life, one supportive woman. They weren't going about fucking a new woman every week because it takes a lot from you. And also the consequences could be huge. You could get an STD, you can get a girl pregnant that you never intended on marrying, and now you're dealing with all the repercussions. So, that's not talked about by the red pill community. The red pill community on YouTube, all they talk about is, hey, go out there and get the highest body count you can, be a man. Does that really make you more of a man? Or does that signal that you're still immature? You're not capable of connecting with one woman deeply, but also that you're very distracted. If you're constantly on Tinder swiping right, trying to get a match because you're horny, then the likelihood of you actually having something that you're working towards is very low. Guys like that don't tend to do shit with their lives because they're obsessed with pleasure. They're indulging in pleasure immediate pleasure, which is not long lasting, by the way, because once you bust a nut, that's it, you're out of there. And then you're chasing that next high. But having one woman that you deeply connect with, that you build a future with, a family with, kids that love and respect you, now that's a lot more meaningful. Well, exactly. I mean, if you're constantly hooking up, I mean, look, female promiscuity is frowned upon, right? But also, and obviously I'm a Muslim, so, in my faith, a man being promiscuous is also bad. There's no, oh, no, it's okay for a man. No. I know you hear that a lot on Red Pill podcasts. But as a man, as a Muslim man as well, you can't be going out there fucking a new woman every day. That's wrong. That's not the way God wanted it to be. And by the way, you need to eliminate that mindset of the more women I sleep with, the more of a man I am. What makes you believe that? There's more to you as a man than just, oh, how many vaginas have you fucked? What is your relationship like with God? What is your relationship like with other strong men? What are you working towards? What have you accomplished? Are you a man who possesses a lot of integrity, honor, respect? Are you dependable? It's not all about fucking women, man. I'm really curious on how many more goals you feel you need before you settle down. You seem accomplished, bro. You don't need 100K a month, brother. Well, I mean, it's definitely not 100K a month. I'm not waiting to get to that level before I get married. Just a few things. A few things, inshallah. Like I said, man, look, I almost got married 2 years ago. There was a girl that I deeply cared about and I deeply loved, and it almost worked out. Granted, we went our separate ways, but I'm not afraid of taking the next step. I'm a man's man. So if I care about a girl, I don't want to live a secret life. I don't want her family to not know that I exist. I want to meet the dad. Hey, nice to meet you. My name's Ali. This is my intentions for your daughter. And this is how you should be, guys. Speak to the fucking father. Don't be a weasel behind her back. I'm scared of the dad. Be a man. Because when you are a father and you've got daughters, you don't want your daughter to come back home one day crying, bruises on her arms. Oh, this guy beat me up. Which guy? I didn't even know you were seeing somebody. Because fathers vet men. That's what they do. That's why Islamically you go to the father to ask the father for permission to marry the daughter. The father will ask you questions. Where are you from? What do you do for work? A father will be able to look at you and assess you. Okay, the kid seems to be decent. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders. Okay, I've asked around, and you know what? He seems to be a very dependable guy. He's focused, right? So that's what fathers are there for that vetting process. Because a lot of young women are naive. For them, it's all about, oh, he loves me though, dad. Yeah, but he's a piece of shit human being. You think he loves you, but he actually doesn't. Because if he loves you, he would speak to the father and he would make his intentions clear. This is what I intend on doing. Okay. Office looks great. How are you doing? I'm doing tremendously well, brother. And thank you. I'm glad to be in this office, man. I'm going to be pumping out loads of videos for you guys, doing a lot of these lives. I enjoy doing these lives. So yeah, man. Bro, do you believe having a kid out of wedlock is embarrassing? Well, I don't believe it's very honorable, if I'm honest with you. I believe, kids should be had it within wedlock. And the reason why is because there's a commitment right there. Now, granted, if you end up going your separate ways, it is what it is. You try to make a relationship work. You try to get married. And this is my opinion. I know a lot of you guys don't really follow any particular faith. And look, I respect you either way. But my personal stance on having kids is that it should only be done within wedlock, because kids that are born in wedlock, within wedlock, tend to do better in every aspect. When they're born out of wedlock and, the parents move their separate ways and they live in different states or whatever, the kids end up growing up confused without a strong role model in the house, right? Because a lot of guys are cowards. They don't want to marry a woman. I get the whole financial aspect of it. I completely understand. Now, Islamically, it's a bit different than how it is in the West, right? So there's not much of a risk Islamically if you go your separate ways. If you have kids, you pay for the kids, but you don't go halves on all your assets and shit like that. That's not how it works. You remind me of my late grandfather who wore mix and match suits driving Range Rover. Good man. He sounded like a good man. I'll tell you this. I'm a classic man who loves Jaguars, loves driving long saloon cars. I don't know if I told you guys, but I bought a new Jaguar XJ. So the one that I did have, I sold. And I'm loving my new one. It's a long wheelbase. And yeah, man, I love it. Do you want a Libyan hijabi Barbie? Okay, I feel like I know this person now. This person's being very specific. Oh, shit. No. I don't mind what ethnicity my woman's going to be, man. I don't mind. As long as she's respectful. Obviously, ideally, I want a woman who believes in God, a Muslim woman. But I don't care about ethnicity. I don't. What's your suit jacket size before and after? I mean, my blazers pretty much still fit in a good way. Okay, I mean, 40 chest was what it was before. Now, I have lost fat around my pecs, so maybe my chest has got a little bit smaller. Maybe 39-inch right now, 38. 38 fits well, to be fair. But it depends on the brand. For some brands, I fit better in a 40. Other brands, I fit better in a 38. You don't know me, Ach. Are you sure, yeah? I've just followed you since 2021. Nice, man. You're very welcome here, brother. What's the take on working in an airport? The pay is £4,000. Is that pounds, sorry, or is it just 4,000? Is it 4,000 yen? What is it? Depends on the currency, brother. Depends on the cost of living in your area. There's many factors involved. Elevate. Only obligation is to tell it straight. So much on my plate, I gotta delegate. $4,000, not bad, bro. That's almost 50 G's a year. Working in an airport, why not? If you're spending 4,000 a month, well, then that's an issue, of course. So once again, I can't get into specific details with you right now because I don't know exactly what the details are. Yeah, I've been to football matches, of course. I've been to a Logic show back in the day, the rapper Logic. My friend invited me, so I went as well. It was pretty cool. I want King Ryan to win. What do you do to earn money? Sales, I'm guessing. Well, I mean, I would say I'm a pretty good salesman, but I day trade Forex. Of course, I offer coaching calls for men when it comes to how to improve their relationship style, confidence. I released a course on day trading Forex as well. And I'm working on a course for you guys on male self-improvement, how to improve every aspect of your life. So stay tuned for that. I want to make that affordable for quite a lot of people. So, because obviously the day trading course takes a lot of my time, which is why it's priced higher. But I want to release a male self-improvement course that a lot more of you can afford. So stay tuned for that. I never realized how chubby your face used to be until I saw your old vids. Well, I'll tell you this, I noticed that myself. I was saying this to a friend the other week. I was like, shit, man, I've been looking back at some of my older videos and my face was fat, man. So it's crazy. Budgeting is key, Ali. I'm 17 and live with my parents. My plan is to stack bread as long as possible so I can set myself for 20s. Good man. Be disciplined with your money. Don't be rash with it. Okay, so once again, another question about staring. Bro, don't worry about it, man. People will look. Don't stress yourself out over it. Actually, have you hit the 10K a month mark with trading? I'll do okay for myself. Put it this way. I don't want no ain. You know what I'm saying? So alhamdulillah, I do okay. I feel like you could say I like. Wait, what? What is that? Vegemite. I feel like you're trying to catch me saying some wild shit right now. Because I get that all the time on TikTok. Someone will be like, Ali, can you say this? And it's the most racist shit ever, but structured in such a way. They're trying to catch me out. I'm 2 steps ahead of the game. Do you plan to live forever in London? Well, I'm in Milton Keynes right now, which is outside of London. And you know what? I have a love-hate relationship with London. I don't hate it, actually. That's a bit of a strong word. But I feel like it's a beautiful city when it comes to the history, and there's a lot to do in London. There is. Especially once you start doing well for yourself. I mean, rich people in London live a completely different life to most of the residents of London who aren't doing as well. Let's just say, right? So, because a lot of people say things like, "Oh, the UK is done for. It's finished." It's like, well, if you're doing well for yourself, if you're making really good money, there's a whole nother side to the UK, to London, that you don't see. Private places to go to, private restaurants, okay? Places the wealthy go to that you're not invited to, that are guest only. So there's a whole nother life out there. But if we're talking about, in general, a place to build you, I mean, it's fantastic location-wise. But Milton Keynes is good for me right now. I'm able to do a lot here. And it's not far. I can be in London in 30 minutes. But I may move to London in the future. I don't know. But I like driving. So for me, London will be a nightmare. So now, I know you have touched on the suits before, but can you suggest the best way, price range, or place to get a first proper suit? Well, look, man, Savile Row is a whole nother ball game. So don't worry about that right now. Savile Row is where you go to get a fully custom bespoke suit, which can cost anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 to 20,000 to 50K, even if you have the money for it. Believe me, suits can go that high up because of fabric and everything, right? But if we're talking about off the rack suits that fit well, and that you could alter them a little bit after, and most of these locations will provide that service, then one company, which I'm not sponsored by, is Suit Supply. I've bought suits from them for many years. Good suits that fit well. Now, granted, they're more premium priced, shall I say, than the likes of Moss Bros and right. So they're about 350, 400 and over is the price. If you're getting a suit for 150 quid, it's going to be a shit suit. I mean, there's a lot of things you guys will learn about suits the more you look into them. And in fact, I should start making videos about suits because I feel like I haven't done enough. In fact, I don't think I've done one, thinking about it. So, for example, the width of your lapel, whether it's a half canvas suit, because some suits are mass produced and they've got basically almost like foam stuffed into the actual body of the blazer. But some suits are more flexible on the body, so they move with you as you walk. So you won't find the shoulder pad area on your lower back. It doesn't move around, as in the actual internal pieces of the suit don't move. Ali, I'm excited for the male self-improvement course. Pump it out ASAP. Stay tuned for that, guys, because I'm going to touch on everything in that course. I'm going to touch on how to communicate more effectively. I'm going to touch on how to improve your relationships with women. I'm going to touch on how to improve your self-esteem, the way you carry yourself, many different things. So stay tuned for that, guys. You haven't done one video about suits. Yep, I know. I've just realized that right now. So I need to make more videos on how to style clothing, how to look for a good suit. Oh, yeah, and I remember you actually thinking about it now that you've mentioned it. How do you feel about Albert Clothing versus Suit Supply? They're both very good. Suit Supply are probably better in terms of overall service, if I'm honest with you. I'm not going to say Albert Clothing are bad, but Suit Supply, you can actually go to the store and somebody will help you alter your clothing. Plus, and this is something that I learned about them recently, if you bought a Suit Supply suit and you've had it for a couple of years, let's just say, and your trousers have now ripped, you can actually go back to the store and say, make me the same sort of trousers. Even if they've discontinued that particular suit, they'll make a similar trouser pair of trousers to the one that you had originally. So it's a good service, man. It is a good service. If you were in an interracial relationship, how would you deal with the racism? Well, my family aren't racist, so there wouldn't be any racism, at least from my family. People will have shit to say. The general public, I don't give a shit about the general public. I'm not gonna lose a minute of sleep over it. People will say shit anyways, man. It is what it is. Maybe I'm used to it because I'm a content creator and people criticize and say negative shit all the time. I don't care. If it's not constructive, I won't take it on board. If it's just, oh, you're ugly, or, when I had long hair, your hair's too long, you look like a woman, people will say shit. You can't make everybody happy unless you sell ice cream. And even then, someone's going to be like, well, it's got dairy in it. I'm lactose intolerant. I don't have dairy, so you can't make everybody happy, man. You'll die trying. There's no point. How many suits from Albert Clothing? I have 4 suits from Albert Clothing. 4 or 5. And then probably like 4 or 5, maybe more actually from Suit Supply. So I've got quite a few suits actually. And I like to switch it up. So sometimes I wear a blazer and some nice formal trousers, but not necessarily the same trousers for the suit. I'll switch it up. So yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap up this live. For those of you interested in my day trading course, feel free to check it out. The link is down below after this live. You can also find a link in my Instagram bio, my TikTok bio, or on my website. Make sure that you give this live a like as well so that YouTube algorithm promotes my page. Appreciate you all for jumping on and having a chat with me. Once again, Eid Mubarak to everybody celebrating. Let's continue to seek improvement, fellas. Okay, take advantage of this weekend. Spend some time with people that you care about, but make sure you hit the gym as well. Okay, take it day by day. Don't stress yourself out. Day by day, we'll get there. All right? Love you guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow because I've got a video coming out at 5 p.m. Turn the notifications on so you get notified. Otherwise, YouTube ain't going to show my videos to you. Okay? So, see you all tomorrow, guys. Peace and love. Take care.